Corruption, it's a really tough problem, right? But what if technology could give us a completely new way to fight back? Well, today we're going to explore a blueprint for exactly that. It's a project called the Civic Integrity Hub, and it's designed to bring transparency and accountability right to the forefront in South Africa. Let's dive in and see how this pretty ambitious idea takes shape.
You know, this quote from the president really just sets the scene perfectly. It captures this feeling that's bubbling up everywhere, this deep frustration and a demand for, not just more talk, but actual results. This isn't just some background noise. It's a national cry for real action.
So that powerful cry for accountability, that's our starting point. It's the core problem this whole project was designed to solve. So first, let's get a handle on the challenges it's really up against.
Okay, so what we're looking at here is a classic before and after picture. On one side, you have the current state of things, systems that don't talk to each other, very little transparency, and that leads to, well, a ton of frustration from everyday people. The vision is to flip that completely on its head, create a single, central hub that allows for public oversight and this is the most important part, actually empowers citizens to be part of the solution.
And that solution, that bridge between public frustration and real empowerment, it has a name, the Civic Integrity Hub. Let's dig into what this thing actually is.
So the crucial point is right here in the definition. This isn't just another website where you can go to complain. It's really thought of as a two-way street, a digital bridge, if you will. Citizens can securely report what they're seeing, but the absolute key is that they can also track the response. It's all about closing that loop.
So that's the big idea. But how would it actually work for someone who wants to report an issue? Let's walk through what that user journey would look like. The whole process is designed to be super simple and transparent. A citizen submits a secure report. Then officials investigate that case. All the while, the citizen can track the progress in real time. And finally, and this part is so important, the anonymized data gets added to a public overview, letting everyone see the bigger picture.
Diving a little deeper, these are the core features that would give the hub its real power. You could upload evidence securely, officials would have a dedicated system to manage cases, and that public dashboard we mentioned lets anyone see what's going on. And for people like journalists or academic researchers, the advanced search and the open data API, man, those could be absolute game changers for spotting systemic problems.
Of course, let's be real. None of this works if people are afraid to speak up. That's why building trust right into the system is completely non-negotiable. By making security and the option for anonymous submissions a core principle, the whole platform is designed to protect the very people it needs to empower.
A tool like this is only as good as the change it creates, right? So what's the real-world impact we could expect from a platform like the Civic Integrity Hub? Why does all of this actually matter?
The vision for change is basically this powerful positive feedback loop. It kicks off with public empowerment, giving people a safe way to report. That, in turn, leads to greater government accountability because everything's out in the open. The whole process generates data that helps find corruption hotspots, and seeing action being taken on these reports helps restore community trust, which then encourages even more people to participate. See the loop? It's brilliant.
And this might be the most powerful idea behind the hub. It tackles that feeling of helplessness by taking all these isolated individual stories of corruption and transforming them from just scattered anecdotes into a single, unified, and actionable data set that can be used for real systemic change.
Just look at this hypothetical chart. Right at a glance, you can see that bribery is making up the biggest chunk of reports. This kind of data-driven insight is incredibly valuable. It lets authorities move beyond just reacting to individual scandals and start strategically tackling the biggest systemic issues first.
Okay, it's an ambitious vision, for sure. But is it just a dream? Well, the blueprint actually lays out a clear, practical path to get from this idea to a working reality. Let's take a look at the development roadmap.
See, this isn't some boil the ocean kind of approach. The roadmap starts small and builds up the complexity week by week. You'd start with just the basic ability to submit a report. Then you layer on security. Then you improve the performance. And finally, you deploy it as a robust, enterprise-grade solution. It's just a smart, iterative plan.
And that really brings us to the ultimate takeaway here. The code, the databases, the cloud deployment, all that stuff, they're just tools. The real goal, the true purpose of a project like the Civic Integrity Hub is to use that technology to build a roadmap for rebuilding one of the most valuable assets a society can possibly have, public trust.
You know, the blueprint we've just explored suggests that, yeah, maybe it can.
By creating systems that are transparent, accountable, and empowering, innovation can give citizens a real stake in the fight for integrity. The ultimate question isn't just about code, is it? It's about our collective will to actually build that bridge.